Welcome back. What's trending live from South by Southwest Music. We are live from the John Lennon Educational Tour Bus. This is Bernie Burns.
Hello.
I'm Cheryl Lazar. This is G-Eazy.
Hey.
Welcome to the bus. Tweet us all your questions. Everyone watching hashtag Lennon Bus. At What's Trending, we want to hear from you. Thanks for being here. I know you just came off like a crazy tour. You're performing everywhere.
Yeah, but it's South by, so you can't stop yet.
You did 3 different showcases yesterday.
Yesterday, just alone. Yeah.
What?
But
How you holding? How you standing up? I guess you're not standing up.
I'm trying.
But you look so
man.
clean
I'm
and, like,
trying.
fresh.
You have to. I just know that my finish line is pretty close, you know?
Yeah.
I've been on the road for 6 weeks, and
Wow.
we intentionally planned routing all the way in the South by, and maybe I didn't think about it all the way, but you know, getting here and then having to go the hardest at the very end of the race is crazy, but you know, it's good. I mean, I'm young. I'm working hard.
There you go.
Yeah, you are young.
the
I wasn't
end,
going to ask how old you are. We don't want to talk about
I'm
age.
12. I'm very,
Well,
I just look older, you know? I have a.
So
Okay,
Shira.
I can't think of any inappropriate thoughts.
But I look old, so I get into parties and they give me drinks.
You also speak
rad
of very
12-year-old.
mature things
Yeah.
for being 12. Your Must Be Nice tour, what does it mean to be nice? Must be nice. What does like that encapsulate
To
you?
be
Why?
paid, yo, straight up. To be paid, making music.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean? Like I always think about it like I'm lucky to have found what I like to do creatively. You know, early in my life, I decided that I wanted to make music, and that's what I had fun doing. And it's like now I'm out here making a living doing what I love the most, and that's really, I mean, that's it in a nutshell. That was Must Be
Yeah.
Nice for me, is like me from a year ago looking at where I wanted to be a year ahead and saying like, oh yeah, it must be nice to be able to pay rent, you know, touring the world and playing shows in front of a ton of fans and like selling records and all that.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just wanted to make do.
Well, has all that changed in the year? Like literally, like a year ago.
Well, we're not there. I'm not on, you know what I mean?
No,
We
but
still got a lot
I mean,
of work
things
to
are
do.
evolving. But like,
Yeah,
how do
but
you feel like that
getting
all
nice.
happens and evolves?
It's getting pretty nice.
Yeah.
It's getting there. I mean, it's just about work, you know? I mean, that's what I'm doing right now. It's like you got to do what you got to do to just like make it happen, you know? So it's like whether it's playing this show, running over here to meet these people, spending time in the studio, writing songs, you know what I mean? You just always have to be focused on your craft.
And you're looking very
work.
dapper. You said this was inspired by who? What is this like whole outfit inspiration?
Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash is your inspiration.
Yeah, he's definitely one of my main inspirations.
But you
And
bring some
Johnny Cash
hip
is a
hop into
hero.
that.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, I always admired his storytelling and his honesty in his music, you know what I mean? And also the vulnerability, you know what I mean? Just like being a human, being able to tell real stories that, you know, you're not always the superhero or whatever. So.
Your music videos are pretty crazy. We're big fans.
Thank you.
Like
Appreciate
what goes into that? Like do you have a hand in producing, designing them? Is that important to you?
Yeah, for sure. I have a hand in almost everything.
Yeah.
Like in my whole I make my beats, I write my songs and all that, but also like I have a hand in the merch. You know, I work really closely with these 2 guys on all my music videos, Bobby Brutally and Tyler Yee, who direct them. And yeah, I mean, it's all about building a cohesive brand across the board, you know what I mean? So anytime you see my name on something, it's like it has to represent it in a certain way.
Do you think artists have to be more involved these days? I mean, as
I
opposed
would
to,
say.
yeah.
I mean, I don't think that's ever really changed, but I think it's important to just be, you know, on top of your shit and make sure that anything you're doing, it's like if you put your name on that, make sure it represents your brand in a good way.
Well, it's hard to imagine like Johnny Cash, right? I mean, he would have to tour and he'd make albums and all that, but it doesn't seem like he had to do all the promotions back then, or he didn't have social media or anything like that.
It wasn't Twitter.
Yeah, there wasn't 24 hours a day.
Yeah. Back then, you actually really had to be good at writing songs.
Yeah.
I feel like now, nice. But now content, I mean, I feel like there still is something to be said about the artist standing out, and it's like the fact is like you could have a big following and all that, but if there's not good music, it's not gonna be long lasting.
Right. And I mean, that's at the end of the day, like, that's what it all comes down
Yeah.
to. You know, I mean, I've been doing this a long time, and it's like, the last year or so has been good for me, but if I really look at it and think about it, it's like, okay, well, the music wasn't there yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you can have all the right strategy and the right approach and the right image and the right people backing you and all the cosigns in the world, but if the music isn't there, man, it's like, that's what people need.
You do a lot of sampling, but Must Be Nice was produced from scratch. What makes you decide what you want to sample versus do originally?
Well, I love sampling records.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something that I've always enjoyed since I started making beats back in high school. It's, you know, it's fun to take something that's like a totally different song and then flip it and turn it into a rap record.
Totally.
You know what I mean? And combine the 2 worlds. But for me, if you want the real honest answer,
Yes.
I was graduating college and I was like, yo, shit, I gotta pay rent, I gotta pay student loans, I gotta get my shit together, you know? I gotta get some money. So it was like I needed a record on iTunes and I needed to do that from scratch. So that was part of it, you know what I mean? But I wanted to push myself as a musician and like, you know, learn how to write stuff from scratch and figure out how to make a track that could stand there on its own and not have to rely on the crutch of a sample. Because when you flip a Runaround Sue, you're starting with gold. You know what I mean? So you're taking a piece of gold and then you're just adding on top of it. You know what I mean? Whereas when you write something from scratch, you're like, all right, G, I'm gonna wake up today and I'm gonna sit in my studio and I'm gonna get here on the keys and I'm gonna write something that, you know what I mean, has to be at that level. And it's like it's a challenge, but I had to.
Yeah, but that's part of the process anyway, right? Even if you don't directly sample it, it's still in your head. You know? It's still something you
No, I
admire.
mean, I was taking everything that I learned from those records and what I was inspired by, and I'd say, okay, what do I like about Runaround Sue? You know, I love these chords. I love this melody here, what he does with the background vocals or whatever. And I'd say, okay, I'm going to take that element of it, what I like, and then, like, you know, do something original and kind of based around that.
Now, you're putting your music on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
Which is cool. So all of you watching, if you haven't already, check out Must Be Nice on SoundCloud. Why was it important to put it up for free there?
Well, I mean, that's just
the
the
way
age
you
we
do.
live in, man. That's what you do, yo. You're crazy if you don't. You know, you have to, especially early on in your career. Really, I mean, at any point, because it's just that's how we're trained now as consumers, is that it's available for free online.
Yeah.
And if your shit's not available for free online, if I hear about a cool record, they're like, you should check this out, and I go to look it up on SoundCloud or YouTube, and I can't hear it first, at least first for free, you lost me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm on to the next. Like, so you gotta hit people, and you gotta make it as easy as possible to get them. You know what I mean?
Well, thank you at G_Eazy for being here today. I'm calling you by your Twitter name now. We so appreciate it. Best of luck with everything coming out. Hopefully get some rest now that it's kind of done. And on to the next.
Maybe you'll see some shows.
Yeah. That could be good.
Be going back on tour soon?
Yeah,
New album?
I am.
New music?
New album, new tour, new everything.
Okay,
Stay
coming
tuned.
up soon. Thank you so much. Check them out. G-Eazy.com for more.